Sunday's here, NFL takeover, it's real. From the first snap to the final whistle, we feel. Packers in the mix, Chiefs on the rise. Patriots grinding, Eagles soaring high. Fantasy points stack, best place, no joke. Monday Night Football, that's where we provoke. Action-packed, every hit, every call. The boys with the heat, we cover it all. From the college fields to the Super Bowl dreams, we narrate the action, we the football kings. Coast to coast, every yard, every throw, we bring the fire, it's time to let it glow. Are you ready for some football? Coast to coast, from the college game to the NFL, we do the most. Monday nights, the boys bringing all the heat, we the squad on the mic, ain't no one can compete. Touchdowns, big plays, lights up in the sky, huddle up, it's game time, we ready to fly. From the cop to the clock hits zero, we the voices of the game, the real heroes. Boys with the heat, we stay on the grind. Football's in our blood, it's all in our mind. From the cop to the clock hits zero, we the voices of the game, the real heroes. Boys with the heat, we stay on the grind. Football's in our blood, it's all in our mind. From the college fields to the Super Bowl dreams, we narrate the action, we the football kings. From the college fields to the Super Bowl dreams, we narrate the action, we the football kings. Coast to coast, every yard, every throw, we bring the fire, it's time to let it glow. Are you ready for some football? Coast to coast, from the college game to the NFL, we do the most. Monday nights, the boys bringing all the heat, we the squad on the mic, ain't no one can compete. Touchdowns, big plays, lights up in the sky, huddle up, it's game time, we ready to fly. From kickoff to the clock hits zero, we the voices of the game, the real heroes. Boys with the heat, we stay on the grind. Football's in our blood, it's all in our mind.
Welcome back, Charles. Welcome back. It is time.
Bro, I just got the world's best, worst news.
The world's best,
just
worst news?
reading through on the fantasy thing. CMC is out tonight.
Oh, yeah. I read that.
That means I've got a chance now, dude. I thought I needed 50 from Debo. I need 15. I need 15 points from Debo Samuel, and I steal a win week 1. No way, dude. Bro, I was hurt.
You're all,
Bro, I was hurt, dude. You realize it's been more than a decade since the Bears, the Vikings, and the Lions won. The Packers lost, Michigan lost, and my fantasy team lost. Bro, it was almost the triple trifecta.
The worst, best day ever. The worst day ever.
Worst day ever. Yeah. Monday Night Football is having it tonight. It could still be the worst weekend, the worst sports weekend ever, right? The worst sports weekend ever.
Yeah.
Your entire division wins. Your college team loses. Your entire division outside of you win.
I think that's the worst part about it.
And your fantasy team loses. Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst part about it. We needed one. We just needed one of those. We just needed one. I was hoping the Packers would be the one. The Michigan game, I had hope, but I was like, you know what? They lost too much. I wasn't disappointed as much as I was like, they need help. I think they thought the hammer was coming down. That was one of the things I wanted to talk about too. I think they thought the hammer.
No, we'll jump right into that after this. Absolutely, I can't wait to talk about that. Yeah, dude, it's dangerous, bro. I'm still teetering on the edge here. The thrive for thrive. You
are. Yeah. Does he have anybody going?
No, not a single person.
Okay,
he's at 111 point something, and I'm at 97.
If you are in Charles's boat, anybody's in Charles's boat today, he's got Debo going against the Jets defense, and he needs 15 bones.
15 points. And no CMC and a limited Brandon Ayuk due to, I think we're going to see Brandon.
I think Ayuk is going to be very limited because I think they're taking it easy with him. So hopefully the focal point goes through Debo. A few rushes, so, maybe
I could see the Jets winning now. Huge swing.
Right? Yeah, I think it went from 6 to 3. So basically a pick 'em now.
The terrible thing is I don't even know. Fingers crossed can you go to the waiver wire right now? Pick up his backup?
You can pick up
so he can't.
Yes,
I can't.
You can pick up a player as long as they don't have a waiver claim in against them. I believe,
Yeah.
as long as he's not on anybody that's not on waivers. But at this point, the guy that you're going to get that's not on waivers might get 1 or 2 points.
Actually, no, you got Brent's smart enough. I'm not. I'm thinking about if it was me, the only person I would be able to drop is somebody who hasn't played yet this week.
Yes,
And the
that's
only
thing
person left on my team who hasn't played yet this week
is the player
I
that's
can't
playing.
drop because it's Christian McCaffrey and he's the number 1 draft pick. He's locked. The game won't let you drop him, period. Interesting turn of events for this week, though, bro. I was like
That's a big turnaround.
universally destroyed, dude. I didn't think that could happen.
If you guys
I'm telling you, my whole world was like, dude, like I was looking at things and
Charles, please tell me that you use the taunt if you get a touchdown from old boy tonight, though. Have you used the taunt?
Okay, so I heard the chat talking about the taunt, and realized that I'm probably getting my ass kicked this week.
Maybe
so
not.
If I don't taunt in this moment, listen to me, dude. I said if I don't taunt in this moment right now on Saturday, I will not be able to taunt at all this week because Lamar and Derrick Henry had already had a touchdown. So I went in a couple days after Thursday, bro, and went taunt.
I like that you get to pick the play that you get to taunt with. That's pretty cool. Congratulations, ESPN. You finally did something pretty cool.
Oh man, I am. That is fun. Yeah, so much to talk about with the NFL. I'm super excited for tomorrow. Lots of reasons. I've got a doctor's appointment. We're going to get to figure out this pain thing. It's subsided. It's a spike every 72 plus hours now, so that's neat. Either my body is getting used to it or my back is as terrible as I thought it was. So that's fantastic. But on to one of the things that started to make me look at sports differently this weekend. Before the news, just a few moments ago, I was sitting in the room, bro, to finish where I was at. I was sitting in the room staring at the TV, and I don't know if I was rocking back and forth yet or not, because I had no idea. I know way more now about Jordan Love than I did in this moment. I had no idea what was going on there. Michigan had just gotten trampled, and I was thinking about everything I was saying on the show about it pre-show. You gotta beat us, blah, 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 blah. We're gonna get to that in a moment. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute, dude. You're not just a sports fan anymore. You're an analytical fan genius. You can't be sitting here watching all these sports with your emotions on your sleeves anymore. That's not who you're allowed to be.
Right. The fanboy's got to go out the door, right?
Watch it. You need to suck it up and just watch it. I don't know, bro. I got a chance to be a fan still if my fantasy team pulls it out this week. I'm just saying, I don't know.
You could be the fan. You get to be a fan of the 49ers tonight.
Oh my God. But I did. It was a cool moment because it turned all sports off. I had Star Wars on the TV at 3:00 in the afternoon on Sunday. And I'm like, dude, what the hell are you going to talk about, dude? You're going to have to go to fucking YouTube and watch just a whole bunch of NFL films. I said, what are you doing to yourself here, bro? Maintenance day on World of Warcraft is tomorrow, so I got a 4-hour spread before my doctor's appointment. I'll be able to
be able to tie in some time there. Be able to
finish up. Yeah, because there's a lot I need to look into. Not so much with the college though.
No.
This was disgusting. And I want to let you start it off, but I've got something to scream about, and I don't know if it's going to take the energy away from what you're saying.
I don't want to take the energy away. We'll see.
So basically, where I'm at is, and now you've said this, and Mike was saying this, and you'll have the rebuttal here in a moment, but it's not good enough. I'll tell you that straight up. Who the does Michigan think they are that they decided that we can take a year off in the transfer portal era? This is not it's a rebuilding year. We expected this anymore. That doesn't exist. This is the transfer portal era. And you had Harbaugh leave because of your stupid ass decision on how you decided to come about the contract choice. It makes absolutely no sense. You have so much fucking money all over the fucking place, and you decided to play hometown discount with the guy who brought Michigan back to glory. Now he's in the NFL, and you went, yeah, you know what? Let's not give our head coach the absolute greatest chance to shut everyone else up around him. Let's be okay with the rebuilding year because we don't want to spend money like all the other schools because it's working out really fucking great for Clemson. It's a fucking joke. That's the quarterback we have playing. He shouldn't be playing right now. He should be playing later or somewhere else, not at the University of Michigan. That offense was atrocious. That offensive line, yeah, it has learning to do. Yeah, I get it. In 2, maybe 3 years, this squad, if they stuck together in the transfer portal era, would be pretty good. But you know what? 3/4 of these motherfuckers are going to hit that transfer portal the moment this season's over. So you're going to have to do it fucking anyways. It makes absolutely no sense to me, Patrick.
Oh, I get it. 2 things. I believe that the admissions thing is still affecting the transfer portal bullshit. That we've had this issue in basketball, football. I think players have known about it and they just say, I don't want to have to deal with that bullshit. Michigan is strict with their transfer admissions rules, their classes, their grades. Nothing transfers over because Michigan is just their academia, whatever you want to call it. It's strict. But anyway, that shouldn't affect a football player wanting to come here.
Yeah, if your family makes less than $60,000 a year, it doesn't affect the University of Michigan.
Yeah.
And I agree with you there, Patrick. And here's the kicker, though. You have a football stadium called the Big House. It's, I think, the 3rd largest sports stadium in the world.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about your books. I don't, because your books, they ain't keeping the lights on because them books did not pay for any of these NIL players to come. The whole world of college football outside of Clemson and some no names here or there, you fact check it all you want. I don't give a shit. I'm sure there's other colleges out there that can't afford it, but we're talking the University of Michigan.
Yeah.
And it's going to be so bad moving forward. And I give Tron more credit. Fantastic, awesome dude, a great human being. I'm sure in 3 or 4 years, if this wasn't the transfer portal era, we would have another national championship. I'm fucking sure of it. But there's no way if I'm a number 3 or even a number 2 on this Michigan squad right now that I'm staying in Michigan. There's no way that if I'm a number 1, if any other school asks for me, I'm not going there. Are you kidding me? Like that I don't get
it. We are now in the NIL era, which unfortunately is going to destroy college football. There's going to be like maybe 10, 15, there's going to be about 12 good teams because 12 teams are going to make the playoff every year. And it's probably going to be the same 12 teams
next year. This is changing next year. There's multiple reports out of a huge Michigan NIL.
They already have it. They already have the collective. It's huge already. But
I think it's got 28 to 32 million set aside for next year.
Yeah, I just unfortunately
to 31 or 32 million, something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be.
I mean, it's just this year. It's this year.
Yeah.
But why would you think?
Why would you wait? It has to be that
it makes no sense.
It has to be the allegations. With the whole Connor Stallions, his thing coming out on Netflix. I think there was just
that came out on Netflix and it made everyone look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
literally, like we had said on the show many times, and the easiest way to explain it was that realistically, what you and I were saying was that
it made it look like
going 90. In a 75, Michigan was going a $105. Michigan was going 450, but everyone thought they were going 93.
Yeah,
and that's how smart that Connor Stallions dude was, right? And again, see Michigan. No, you don't. Everyone's going 90. Everyone just thought Michigan was going 93, and turned out they were going 450. It's a joke, and I think people need to be fired. I think, for one, the entire board needs to be gone.
So the Board of Regents, NCAA?
Yeah. Yeah, a new one in that scenario. But specifically the athletic board at Michigan.
Just to save face. Yeah, just save face.
You need to get rid of that. This historically the worst home loss by a defending national champion. Let that sink in. The worst home loss by a defending national. Texas came in, bro, and planted their flag. They're an SEC school now, but that's a Big 12 school.
Yeah.
Came in and beat the fucking bricks off of Michigan, bro.
Yeah, but the thing is, they returned a lot. That's basically a national championship contending team. Michigan by no means was going to compete for a national championship this year.
Of course not, but that's what we're talking about. They could have been. That transfer portal
could have been, but I'm talking about the team that we saw coming into the season with a backup quarterback who beat cancer. Congratulations, by the way, to David Warren. But the problem is this guy is not a leader. He's not a go-getter. Their backup is Orgy is a running quarterback who at best was only a 48%. I think he was less than 50% accurate in high school. Well, he has a hell of an arm, but he got nothing.
You had mentioned it in one of our pre-show conversations. Is that because we're still asking who's the starting quarterback? That doesn't bode well for us.
No, you need to know right away. And the other problem is I hate watching Michigan look like Iowa. I hate it, Charles. It bothers me so much. Your defense is all you have. It's basically all you have. And I thought the run game would be better, but their blocking
Iowa's offense this year looks really good.
Yeah. Michigan's blocking scheme is not the same, or they don't have the same talent or level of players. I think it's just preparation. These are young guys who haven't learned the system yet. These are guys that came in and they were behind guys where they never got in a game. They haven't learned it yet. It takes a while.
I don't disagree with you, but at the same time, I have a hard time finding a way to agree with that comment because this is not year 3 of Sharon Moore. This is year 1, which means he is coaching, for the most part, individuals that were there or going to be there for Harbaugh. So it's to see how sloppy. It's the same thing with the Green Bay Packers, and I'm starting to question the winningest quarterback. Blah 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 blah. But side note, shout out, congratulations, Harbaugh. He's now 5-0 in NFL season openers.
Yeah. Got the record.
Preparation.
Yeah.
Preparation, off-season approach. It's huge. Yeah, but back to the Michigan thing, it's
very unfortunate that that's what we saw.
Do I just turn the TV off? Like at this point, because everyone outside of the players, because nobody told the players, apparently you can't tell the players, otherwise they'll transfer somewhere else. But everyone outside of the players went, hey, yeah, we're going to be really bad this year. Just don't tell anyone.
Yeah. I'm not going to say
they're okay with that.
I'm not going to say I had a hint that they were going to be that bad. If Texas ends up winning the national championship, this will look like not that bad of a loss, to be honest with you. With the offense Michigan,
I think
with the offense that they have, Michigan did not have an offense. They had a halfway decent defense. Had Michigan even had a semblance of a run game or a passing game, it would have been a hell of a lot closer football game. But they got nothing.
I don't disagree with you. Yeah, 3 pieces out of the transfer portal would have made a huge difference.
Hell, even an offensive lineman or maybe another DB, because Will Johnson cannot do everything himself. Losing Rod Moore, their starting safety, who probably was going to go play in the NFL and be a starting safety, that hurts. That hurt a lot. He was a big hitter too. He was a guy that would cause fumbles, sack the quarterback. Anyway, it's talk about spilt milk, but I don't know. I don't have high hopes for the season. I expect maybe 8 wins.
I think that's the perfect over-under, 7.5.
Yeah.
I think that's the perfect over-under, 7.5.
That's a good season.
It's tough, man. It's just tough. So it's tough because we know.
Yeah.
But I guess at the same time, though, it's a comforting thought. hey, we didn't hit the transfer portal. We're going to be terrible this year. That's just how it is. You're going to be struggling to get 10 wins if you don't. It's not about recruiting now. I don't care. That school is, you're top 5 in recruiting. That's fantastic. I promise you, top 5 in recruiting does not correlate to top 5 out of the transfer portal.
It might get you to the playoffs, but you have to develop that talent too now. Like I said, now with the transfer portal, you can just go get a guy who's in his junior season. He's going to play for 1 year. Right. You pay him $1 million or $500,000. He comes to your school. He's dominant. I hate this with all of my being. I hate to say this, but Ohio State might have did it right. They might have fucking did it right. 20 million. What a team. To make the playoffs. To make the playoffs.
Listen, Ohio State did it right, or they built the right game plan.
I don't know if that's going to correlate to a national championship, but they built the team through the transfer portal. They built the team through the transfer portal. Yeah.
I think that amount of money, I think this will all come down to
that might be a little. That's a little too much. That's a little too much.
It's going to come down to whether or not Ohio State wins. It will change the framework, though. If Ohio State wins the championship this way, bro, next year
you're going to see copycats. You're going to see copycats.
Texas A&M. Texas A&M might end up being that team that wins 4 out of the next 7.
Here's the other thing. I was talking to a guy who was an Ohio State fan. You could talk. Your father-in-law is an Ohio State fan. You should ask him what he feels is a successful season for Ohio State. Is it national title or bust?
Yeah,
beating Michigan's an absolute necessity. That has to happen.
Yeah, it doesn't. I can promise you right now, it doesn't matter to them as long as they win it.
No, but it's
because it's the same. To answer your question, it's championship or not, right? That's a very black and white question. Anybody who says, "Oh, just making it to the playoffs," is an idiot. They're a soft, ridiculous, worry-hearted fan. You're not spending $20 million and expecting to win the playoffs here. We're talking about the fucking Dodgers of college football.
So that just answered my question. So if they do not win it, Ryan Day is not the coach anymore at Ohio State next year.
I don't know. I don't know, man, because the only team he loses to is a playoff team, which you can't be upset about losing to a playoff team. They're there for a reason. And
if they lose their first game in the playoffs, maybe
to teams not named Michigan in the Big Ten, bro, he's 89-0 or 91-0 or some shit like that. Now, no, you don't fire a coach like that. you don't, right? Now,
he's not Dick Franklin.
No, Ryan Day, I doubt is going anywhere, to be honest with you.
All right.
If the conversation in the championship game moves over to Ryan Day had the better team, but clearly unprepared again, that might change, right? Because then you'll be sitting with a Brian Kelly situation where Brian Kelly could get you to the big game, but he can never win it. Unlike the old boy at Notre Dame right now who can't win the little games, but
speaking of Notre Dame, all right, sum up the Notre Dame game in one word, the best you can.
Hilarious.
That's exactly right.
Okay, that's your word. My
hilarious,
word is,
hilarious for Notre Dame getting their ass beat. Yeah. Expected. We knew that was going to happen at least once this year. Northern Illinois is not the team that I expected it to be, but yes.
Unlike the Detroit Lions, which I'm very excited to talk about tomorrow.
Let's touch on one more college football game.
Notre Dame is the same old.
Notre Dame is Notre Dame. Yeah. High expectations, terrible output. The other game I wanted to touch on was the Nebraska-Colorado game. Now, you saw that Shedeur Sanders got taken out the last 2 minutes of the game and didn't even want to be there. They walked him out into the locker room. His dad, Dion, told the stadium in Colorado to play his theme song instead of the band playing. It played his rap album, his song. They told him to play it when he scored a touchdown. Now, how fucked up is that? That's messed up.
Yeah.
Barstool put this out there. Yeah. But you have that much power over the school that you can control the scoreboard and the music and you can tell the band not to play? Is this guy the AD of Colorado? What the hell's going on over there?
I agree with you and with everything you're saying, minus the surprise.
The surprise, sure.
Because it's Deion Sanders. Everyone. FSU told Deion no. Nobody ever really asked why out loud. Did you ever hear anything about that?
No, but what I'm seeing at Colorado might be why Florida State said no.
Is the exact fucking reason why Florida State said no and chose the other person. You don't say no to Deion Sanders unless Deion Sanders wants to change who you are. Yeah. That's really all. That's ultimately, right? Hey, listen, I spent my whole life building this building. Now I'm going to put my name on it. Okay, so now I want to bring in a partner. The only way this partner will make me money is if I take my name off the building and put their name on the building instead. Yeah. They're still working for me, but they just want their name on the building. It's not a big deal. They're still working for you. I laughed. I'm like, I know exactly why. Because it's the other thing, too. It's out of all of the colleges he could have went to, at the beginning, what was that school he ended up going to? Was it James Madison?
Oh, no, Jackson State.
Jackson State. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry, James Madison and Jackson State. Well, there's many great colleges. And I might be stepping on my own toes talking about this. But again, I always felt like Jackson State just ended up being the first school to allow him to make it his own, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Super disrespectful to the NCAA football programs around the United States to think that Deion Sanders can come in and just change the game of football overnight. Colorado may not have spent $20 million on the transfer portal, but they did transfer in, I think, 42 players?
Yeah, they transferred in a crazy amount of players.
Most of the country. But Nick Saban said it best, right? Like, you can spend all that money, but if you ain't got the right players, it don't mean shit.
Yeah.
And it's okay. So Colorado went out and went, we need to get bigger on the offensive line. Okay. So you went and built a load of sandbags with
guess what? The water's just going around them. It's like toilet paper going right through them.
One-ply toilet paper. You filled a one-ply toilet paper type sandbag.
That is the greatest analogy ever.
and then you hit a wall of water and everyone's, oh my God, why is this happening? I don't understand. And it's because it takes a little bit more than just fucking playing Lincoln Bucks here, man.
I love what Nebraska's doing. I just think the culture in Nebraska, the culture is crazy. Raiola, whatever, man. You do you, man. You just keep on keeping on. Pretend you're Mahomes. I don't care.
Oh, Patrick Mahomes Jr.
But here's the kicker. Nebraska might be a much better football team this year than they have been in the past, but there's better teams in the Big 12 than Nebraska, and you've got to play them. You're going to get your ass handed to you. If you couldn't handle Nebraska's defense and their front seven, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. Kansas State, Baylor, Utah, good luck.
Here's something super scary that I'm realizing very quickly. You're going to go to Nebraska before you go to Alabama. Now, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're not choosing Nebraska over Alabama, but you're going to play years 1 and 2 in Nebraska and then transfer to a school like Alabama or Georgia, Tech, yada, 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 to try and chase that championship. So we're going to start seeing, this is like Virginia Tech, schools that have these amazing cultures, crazy student atmospheres. Wisconsin's one of those schools. I love Wisconsin's fucking student atmosphere, man. Oh my God.
Yeah, the best. Probably the best in football, to be honest.
Outside of Virginia Tech, I think, it's, regardless, like if I'm a 2 to 5 star athlete, even a 1 star athlete, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to go to one of those schools like Nebraska because of the coach, because of the culture. But the locker room is insane. That field is insane. The fans are insane. And I'm going to go hone my skills in those insane type of environments. And then we're going to see what happens, right? I would love to stay here for 4 years, but I want a national championship. And if I don't see that in 2 years, my play is going to get me an offer in one of those schools. Thank you for helping me in my proceeding in my career. I'll never forget you.
And you can't blame anybody anymore with chasing the dream. They're chasing the dream.
Era.
Yeah.
I don't expect to see 5 freshmen dominate college basketball anymore.
No.
I don't expect to see a redshirt freshman in Georgia 4 years later be killing it in Georgia. I expect to see that redshirt in Virginia Tech be killing it in Georgia 3 years later.
Right.
Get an offer to the NFL.
This is the whole reason why I don't understand why Michigan is not starting Jaden Davis.
Yeah.
He's not going to be there. He's going to either transfer out next year because he said, F this, and I'm not going to sit around and watch this shit show that you guys got going on as far as an offense. Why? You can't tell me he's not better than both quarterbacks. If he isn't better than either one of those quarterbacks, why the hell did you guys go after him so hard then? Not to be mean. No, he's got to be better. He's got to be better.
He's not. Right now he's not. Otherwise he'd be out there playing. Otherwise, what are the coaches doing? Are they doing anything at all? Because if he's better, at some point he would have been in the Texas game. I don't think there's a question there. I think when he's better, he'll play. I think the best option plays.
No,
what's scary for us is that our best option is this Warren individual.
I think they redshirted him.
But we're talking about football.
No, I think he's redshirted. That's why he's not playing. But I'm saying, how could he not be better? They just assume that these guys would be okay. And I think we're screwed with what we have. I think he redshirted, and I don't think they're going to pull his redshirt because I think that's up to him, too. If you say I'm in a redshirt, then they say, hey, no, you're not. You're playing. He could be like, F you. I'm just going to take my letter of intent and I'm going to put my name in the transfer portal. Maybe that's what he's doing. It's messed up because he was a high 4-star athlete. You can't tell me he's better than a guy who just barely survived cancer and who's never been a starting quarterback in his career, or Orgy, who was only a 45% passer in high school. He's got to be better than those two. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the country coming out of high school. He's got to be better. He was almost as good as Raiola at freaking Nebraska. Look what he's doing. And Michigan's got to have better talented receivers than Nebraska. Come on, let's be honest. They got better tight ends. That's the other thing. Michigan's going to piss away their best tight end they've ever probably had as far as athleticism goes. It's disturbing.
I mean, the shitty thing is the answer to your question is no, they don't. They don't. Redshirt dude isn't better. Otherwise, he'd be playing. I don't know any athlete in the world who, in that scenario that you've created, would be like, no, I don't want.
Well, obviously, Ohio State didn't think that McCord was better. They told him to kick rocks, and look what he's doing at Syracuse. He might be the best quarterback in college football right now.
Yeah.
He's got 900 passing yards. 900 passing yards in 2 games and 9 touchdowns. It's
Ohio
insane.
State is not Michigan. Yeah, I agree with you, absolutely. Ohio State is terrible, but we're right now questioning the coaching decisions of Michigan, and I love this.
It's not the same, but the problem is this is not Harbaugh's coaching staff anymore. They had how many guys leave? I
understand that.
They had how many guys leave? This is now not the same coaching staff. So I don't have faith. I don't have as much faith in the new coaching staff as I did with Harbaugh's. Because
clearly, I've yet with the questions you have,
I've yet
to see. I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that in agreement. Yeah,
and we all know who's in charge in Michigan up in the administration too. So that's another reason why.
The answer is simple. Old boy with the red shirt on is not better right now. High school is a lot different than college, and I know that, and I'm just stating that for the listeners. The speed of the game was too much. Michigan's defense is good. They're like a piece or two away, and unfortunately that piece did get injured, and he's out for the season. But it's a championship-level defense. The offense, on the other hand, has lots of questions. But the answers are just ones we don't like. And the bottom line is this season is over. There might be a little bit of magic, but we're not going to compete with teams like Texas or Georgia or, unfortunately, Ohio State. It is what it is, bro. It's like the movie Little Giants, right? If we win, that would be such a great story, but it's not. That's it. That's it for Michigan. That's our Super Bowl this year for Michigan, is hopefully beating Ohio State and Oregon. Like, we got to beat the O's. Like that's our chip this year.
Well, Oregon is definitely beatable. They've almost lost both games they played.
Yeah. What? So is Ohio State. You look at a $20 million college roster and you expect them to be winning by 70 points.
They haven't really struggled that much this year.
That's not my point. Look at the fucking roster, bro. Who they played? They didn't play no Texas, right? I'm not saying they're gonna struggle.
No,
right?
but
I'm
do
not
they
expecting them to be Notre Dame, which you did bring up earlier.
When do they
they're
play?
Not winning by 60.
When do they play? Right? They got to be playing somebody decent at some point here coming up. When did they play Oregon soon or something?
It's like the 6th or 7th week. Yeah, I think that's October 12th. To be honest with you.
I was gonna say, did they have another warm up game this week?
Yes. It's Ohio State.
They have another warm up game this week.
Yes.
I mean, look at the Badgers for taking on Alabama. That's that. Speaking of which, I hope Wisconsin can be competitive in that game. I don't think they can, but that would be awesome to see.
I think they've got a good chance. I think the stadium comes loud. I think
that'd be fun to watch.
Defensively, they play hungry. I think it's gonna come down to the third quarter. Honestly. I think it'll be within reach or close at halftime, and how they come out of that halftime, how they come out of that third quarter. But my point on bringing this up, right, is that, okay, so Alabama struggled against South Florida. You look at the score and you're like, oh, 42-16, but it was crazy up until the very end, right? But then you're looking at Alabama, or you're looking at a team like Ohio State, and you look at a $20 million roster, and they should be putting 60 on everyone. It shouldn't be a question, right? And that's just, it doesn't scream championship to me. Now, on the other side of this, the culture in Texas, that's different, man. That sideline in Texas looks like the sideline last year for Michigan. And now I need to watch a few more Georgia games. Where are you lost into? Patrick, are you froze? Are you still there? I feel like I'm all alone. I'm definitely all alone. Let me go ahead and hit this pause button real quick. It's 2024. We live in a world where we still have internet issues here. Play us. My co-host Patrick, mid-conversation, ended up losing internet. We waited a few moments and decided, with Tuesday's conversation coming up, that we had good content for this episode. So just a quick touch, recoup. We talked a little bit about some NFL going on. We'll hit that a lot tomorrow. For those of you, that's the first NFL episode for the season. We hit number 48 last year. We're hoping to bump those numbers up. That'd be so fantastic. For you, the fans out there, we need to hear what you want to know, who you would like to hear about, what you would like to hear about in regards to your football team. See if we can get some inside information for you, shoot out some emails. And then we jumped on Michigan. We were super confused with the direction Michigan's going. It just makes a whole lot of sense. And we took a handful of side quests, as we do always on this show. We love our side quest on this show. But with Monday Night Football coming up, you got the Jets and the 49ers. We were going to do a small pick'em. I didn't catch what Patrick's pick was going to be, but in lieu of everything that has come out, limited use on Brandon Ayuk, CMC out for this week, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick the 49ers anyways, because we are all about the Jordan Love. An update on Jordan Love. He is not going on the IR. It's not super serial. I mean, it is, and it can be, but it's the Green Bay Packers organization. And if we're here in 2 to 4 weeks, we can promise it'll be 3 to 5. But we're inside 6 weeks. We'll talk about it more on the next episode. These first 3 weeks, not so important. Very winnable, very doable. I believe it's the Colts, the Vikings. I can't remember the other one off the top of my head. So I just want to thank everyone out there for continuing to listen, to the sharing our comments, the likes. It's really means the world to me. And I also know to Patrick and everyone else that's a part of this show, to have us be a part of your world, whether it be your sports world, your fandom, some of the curiosities, some of the weird facts. Yeah, I know we're all over the place, and that's exactly how it's supposed to be. That's life. And life is tough. It's tough out there for everyone. You never know what anyone else is going through. So all we can do is smile, And you hear me say at the end of the show, I love you more. We love you more. We do, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't be out there smiling. You should always be smiling, especially if you're looking for a smile. I was told once in my life, the fastest way to find a smile is to smile first. That's fantastic. I've been told a lot of random ass things. What's another one of those things? Oh yeah, we can't be saying that live on the air either. I'll save that for another time. Regardless of the scenario, thank you so much. Continue to thank you for your support. We love to hear from you. We're looking forward to hearing from you on Bud Your Sports Team. Aaron Rodgers is about to take the first snap. I wanted to push this to get to the Aaron Rodgers thing. I think he made it 4 snaps in. So we're going to see the very first snap. I'm guessing handoff. Outside left to old Brees Hawley. Man, it's still weird seeing Aaron Rodgers not in a Green Bay Packers jersey, if I'm being honest with you. It's a little surreal, but yeah, that was a halfback toss. 49ers defense seems to have it covered up pretty well, 2 or 3 yards. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for everything you do in this world. It is a much better place with you in it, regardless of how you're feeling right now. I promise you, we here at this show love you more.